Hi, my name is Ashley Sweeney, and I'm a registered dietitian and mom of two with the third girl on the way. I am in my second trimester, and I get a lot of questions about healthy pregnancy, healthy families, and supplements while you're pregnant. If you're not already a part of my Mommy Feeding Family community, make sure to join that. It's a Facebook group. Just search Mommy Feeding Family. Okay. Now, one of the common questions is always about supplements. We've talked about supplements for children within the group, and there's a lot of other pregnant mamas. So what do I take? Now, supplements are highly individualized. So what I don't want you to do is just to go to your Walmart or Meijer or Kroger and just start buying supplements off the shelves. What I'm taking is based on testing. I've done a lot of testing, and I did a lot of testing before I found out I was pregnant. I was trying to research some other health issues, and because of that, I got a lot of my own labs. So I know where I have deficiencies. I also know from previous pregnancies some signs and symptoms and some things to look out for. So because of that, this is what works for me. This does not mean you should be taking these. Please talk to your doctor before you start taking supplements, especially while you're pregnant. First, let's talk prenatal vitamins. Here's mine. It's Prenatal Nutrients by Pure Encapsulations. It is, you may need a provider to order this for you if you cannot order it yourself, but this isn't going to be the same type that your doctor gives you at the doctor's office. I've received prenatals from my hospital, from my doctor multiple times, and I did never take the kind they gave me because I wasn't happy with the quality of the ingredients. Specifically, I'm going to show you about folic acid. During pregnancies, they say we need at least 400 micrograms of folic acid. Well, what we want is the methylated folate form. And so in this version, there's 5L-methylfolate. That's the kind that you want. This one has over 400 micrograms, which I'm happy about. This one also has a good amount of selenium, iron, iodine, magnesium, and choline. All very important for pregnancy. And the iron, so far for me, I haven't found it upset my stomach. A lot of prenatals, the women, it upsets your stomach because of the iron amount in it. And so I would suggest taking a different option. I would suggest if yours upsets your stomach, take it at night. Try what you're eating around that time. A lot of times nausea is just kind of part of pregnancy, but it doesn't have to be, and it doesn't have to be because of your vitamins. All right, the other one, choline. Choline is found naturally in some of our foods, especially eggs. However, you're going to get the most choline if it's in runny eggs, and I don't do runny eggs. I can't eat them. So I know that I need to supplement. So I know it's something that I need to supplement. And this is one of the things that gets depleted in our body. The more kids we have, the older we are too. So I've had 2 babies now. I've probably used up my stores of my choline, and I didn't take this my first 2 pregnancies, and I wish I had, and I wonder what would have happened if they did. But it really helps the children's brain cells and brain development. So I take a brand called Seeking Health. There's 800 milligrams in this, and I'll comment below with kind of what the recommended amounts are that you should be getting during pregnancy. But this is one that's not really found in your food in very good sources, and so why I supplement. And I tried taking the liquid form, which would be ideal. There was more choline in these. This is a liquid, kind of like honey texture. It made me gag and made me couldn't do it. Not while I was pregnant, at least. So if I moved to the capsules for the choline. Okay, vitamin D, very important. Now, I had my vitamin D levels tested before I found out I was pregnant. We weren't trying to get pregnant this time. This baby's lucky. We're lucky too, I know that. But what I found was that I'm deficient my vitamin D stores are low. I was in the 20s and low 20s. I think I was 22. We want our vitamin D to be higher. This is also something that the baby takes more of from us. So even though my stores may have been 22, baby's gonna take a lot of that from me, and I need to make sure that mine are high enough for my needs as well as baby's needs. So this is interesting too, because I've lived in the South for most of my adult life, between Georgia, Arizona, and now sunny California, and I'm still deficient. I do wear sunscreen, but not every day, not all the time. I'm outside a lot, but I'm still deficient. Research shows that even women who eat the amount of recommended vitamin D in dairy or salmon or other sources of vitamin D, they still are deficient, because the best sources to absorb vitamin D are through the sun, and vitamin D I'm doing vitamin D3 with vitamin K. That helps with the absorption of the vitamin D. So this is a little liquid that I just drop in I just drop it in my mouth. You could drop it in water, coffee, any of your beverages, and it'd be totally fine. But I take this every day. Vitamin D is very important for us while we're pregnant and for our babies and beyond, especially if you're breastfeeding. Again, most of us deplete our stores of vitamin D, so this is something I'll keep taking when I'm breastfeeding. All right, next we have magnesium. Now, magnesium I took before I was pregnant as well, and I'll keep taking it while I'm pregnant. Magnesium is important for a lot of different functions of our body, a lot helping us relax at night, helping our body calm down, helping with nerve function, helping with protein synthesis. There's a lot of different roles that magnesium plays. And again, I'll right below how much you should be having each day. But a lot of our food source is also depleted with magnesium. So there's not a lot of great sources out there unless you're eating loads and loads of greens, loads and loads of vegetables, which I know you're doing because I know you're trying to eat really healthy. But even I know I don't get enough. So I'm having magnesium supplement. I take it at night. My husband takes it at night also. He takes it at night to hopefully help him with his sleep. And this one is a magnesium malate. Now be careful, too much of the other kind of magnesium citrate, may cause some diarrhea. And actually, if you're constipated, magnesium citrate may be a good option for you to help with that. All right, just a few more. Now, the other thing I do is I do take probiotics. This one's called Megaspore, which is a spore-based probiotic. There's amazing research coming out about this product and about this company and about spore-based probiotics. So I do take this every day. And then once this version runs out, this is 60 capsules, maybe I'll do this for 2 or 3 months, and then I'll rotate to a different type of probiotic. It's important to mix up the diversity in our gut for our babies. And I also do try to eat some probiotic-rich foods. So I make sure to incorporate that in our diet because we do want mom's diversity to be great, as well as when baby comes out to have a rich source of diversity in their gut. And a lot of that happens too when you have vaginal delivery. The babies actually get a lot of the nutrients and a lot of the bacteria, the good bacteria from mom's vaginal canal. I know it seems gross, but it's a really important part of building up the infant's gut microbiome. So trying to make sure mine is healthy as well. Okay, the other thing is I don't eat a lot of fish, and even if we do during pregnancy, we know it's not something you want to eat a ton of. And I actually have some aversions to fish. I think ever since my first pregnancy, I just kind of got turned off, and I've never since I've really had much desire to eat fish. So I make myself eat fish at least once a week while I'm pregnant. I do, because there's a lot of benefits to salmon, wild caught tuna. There are some benefits to fish. So I make sure to eat it at least once a week. But most other days, probably 5 times a week, I do take an omega-3 supplement. This is omega-3s and some more vitamin D. Can't go wrong there. So I make sure to take that. It has EPA, DHA, and omega-3s. Okay, now I know I have some gut issues going on that I've been working with a natural provider. The other thing I do take to help with that is this lauricidin. This is helps with a healthy gut. It's very natural. It just is basically the concentrated form of the high potency, the good thing we want in coconut oil. It's basically a concentrated form of that. So it helps with gut and immune system. So I take a spoonful of this every day. Glutathione is another one. It's a natural antioxidant, a natural detoxifier. And while we're pregnant, we don't want to do much detoxifying. So I wouldn't have you go on a detox. I wouldn't have you try any detox teas, do anything like that, because any nutrients that mom is detoxing or getting out of their system means baby could absorb it, and we don't want that. So if you're going to do any type of detox, wait till after you're done pregnant, you're done breastfeeding. However, little doses of something like glutathione, which is natural in our food and everything, but we don't get a lot of it, is something that's really beneficial for our bodies. And so this, I just take 1 tablespoon a day. It does not taste good at all. It's actually pretty disgusting tasting, but it's one of those things that gotten better about tasting. The taste has grown on me, if it's possible, but it's not awful anymore. Okay, just the last few. These are little electrolyte tablets. Now, when you're pregnant and if you sweat a lot and if you've lived in the South, I've lived in Georgia for both of my pregnancies and now California in the summertime, and it's not awful here. I'm not going to complain compared to Georgia. But if I exercise or if I run and I sweat a lot, then I know I'm at risk for being dehydrated. And I always salt my foods really well. I don't worry about that. Unless you have risk of hypertension, I wouldn't either worry about the risk of salting your food with good quality salt. But I also do take electrolytes from time to time. And this is None. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. NUUN is the brand. You dump it in a thing of water. My husband drinks electrolytes every night because we did some testing on him and found he was dehydrated. He had low levels of sodium, potassium. The electrolytes were low in his body. So he actually takes electrolytes every night. He's a sweater. He works out a ton. He sweats a lot at work. Too much information. But anyways, he has electrolytes every night, and I would recommend them for most busy, active men. And let's see, lastly, this is a adrenal supplement. If you saw my previous videos about adrenals, you saw my protocols, what I'm doing for that. And these are adrenal supplement called Drenamin, received from my doctor. Don't just go buying and starting to take it unless you know what you're doing. But I found out I had pretty severe HPA axis dysfunction before I was pregnant, which meant, my adrenals were just really drained. My body was drained, my body was shot. I wasn't producing cortisol on its own. That means I wasn't giving myself any new boost of energy, natural energy. So I was kind of living off coffee, way too much coffee, which I've cut down on. But anyways, Drenamin is a supplement to help with healing and kind of supporting your adrenals. So this is a lot of information. I'll include more in text form below so you can kind of see some amounts and you can see the actual brand names in case you missed them. But again, please talk to your doctor before just going and buying them, especially before you just go buying off the shelves. Do more research. There's a great book called Real Food for Pregnancy. I would highly recommend that. I'll click the link below as well for that. But that's an amazing resource for pregnant moms. I wish I had that during school. It's like a textbook, but it's a textbook for healthy pregnancy, so it's one I would really recommend. If you have any questions, go ahead and just comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.